Alright, hey guys, welcome to another UK scale and crawler tutorial. Right, I've been looking through YouTube and there was a bloke who'd done this, and I'd asked him several times and sent him countless amounts of messages, and he never bothered getting back to me. So I got in touch with a friend who ended up helping me out and blah 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 blah. Anyway, right, to start off, basically, as you can see, I've got my XR10 there. Now, I've been wanting to do proportional drive and have the dig with dual ESCs. Now, I was looking around all over the place trying to find out how to do it, and there was not one person who was like willing to say how it was done. So I got in touch with a friend called Pete. Now, he's hacked my Flysky for me. The hack kit that you'll need to get also is from Overkill RC. It is, if you hang on 1 second, it's $25 plus shipping. So I haven't got a clue how much the shipping is, but either way, there's videos on Overkill RC on how to actually hack your Flysky. If you get the kit's $25, comes with a PCB board which you plug into your laptop, and then you download the firmware and change the firmware on your controller basically. You've got to take the top off the controller and put like a little piece onto the board to do it. But yeah, once you have the Flysky's been hacked, basically you can do dig, you can do the proportional drive, you can run a winch on the likes of your SCX10s, so it'll leave you, it means you haven't got to go out and spend ridiculous amounts of money on the likes of a Futaba, which yes, they're really good radios, I won't dispute that, but if you're on a budget you don't really have 200 quid to go and spend on one. Same with Spectrum. It ups the end points, so instead of you having the end points to just 30%, it ups them to 99. It also ups your trim as well, so instead of your trim maxing out at 30, that goes up to 99. And it does a few other bits and bobs as well. Also, it'll turn the likes of that into an 8-channel pistol grip radio. You can use any of these switches and any of them switches, and you can set them to do whatever you want. Right, basically the reason why I'm doing this anyway was for the for running dual ESCs and wanting to be able to do proportional drive and dig. And you can do it on, like, say, the XR10, you can use it on the Berg as well. There's the likes of the cheaper end of the range, like the Red Cat RS10. If you stick a second ESC in that, you can do the same as well. Anything running 2 motors and 2 ESCs, you can do this with. Basically, I'll show you what I mean anyway. So stop the jumping off. So as you can see, it's running both exactly the same. So just speed it up a little bit, and then I'll do the dig and show you that. So push the switch forward, it'll lock the front axle and drive just the back. So release the switch, it does all 4 again. Pull the switch backwards, it'll do exactly the same, but it'll do the other way around. So that's the dig function. Basically, dig function will help you climb up things, it'll help you turn into rocks to go up them. It's really worth having. After that, then you've got proportional drive. And the whole point of the proportional drive is that you can set, say, the back axle to spin at 60% and the front axle to spin at 100%. So if you're going up a steep incline, you set the front axle, or the way I drive anyway, you set the front axle up to run faster than the rear. So you normally put like 40% drive to the back and still have the front on 100. So as you're going up, the front's wheel spinning, which the centrifugal force off it keeps the front end on the rock, stops it flipping over. So I'll just demonstrate that. You can do that with both axles as well, so you can proportional drive the rear as well if you want. So yeah, that's basically proportional drive. Now I've got set up on my controller, the dual rate button does the proportional drive. Now it'll do it in 10% increments. If I click it forward, just move that a minute, I'll show you. I'll click it forward. Right, once I've set it to where I want, drive it, and then once I've finished driving it and I want it to go back to 50-50, if I push that button in, straight away knocks it back to 0-0 again. And then the dig is set up on the 3rd channel trim switch here. So if I push that forward, 100% locks one axle, release it, stops. You put it backwards, 100% the other axle, and release it, stops. So that's basically what the proportional drive and the dig function will do. Let me get all this lot out the way, and then I'll get a little sheet out in a second, and I'll instruct you on how to set your controller up. Okay? Right guys, basically I've just fast forwarded a little bit, and you basically, once you've created your model and stuff, this is where you need to be up to. So where it says endpoints, which is this one here on the top, hold the enter button down, which is that button there. Alright, and it'll start flashing like that. And when it's flashing, you want to change that number to 3. So you know you don't, change it to D. Alright, then push the enter button in again. Alright, and then you change that to 3. Alright, and then hold your enter button down and that'll input it in. And after that, go to where the reverse is. I think you can see that anyway. Alright, hold the button down again. Alright, and it'll flash up with this then. And once it's flashed up with that, you want to change that to number 3. And once you change that to number 3, where it says TR1, you want to change that to where it says dig. So keep scrolling through, and there will be one that says dig in a minute somewhere. There we go. And once you've done that, push your enter button down and it'll come up with this. Now the NL stands for no long pauses. You want to change that to MO, which is momentary pause. So basically when you push the switch forward and backward, I'm going to put it, you hold the switch and it'll lock it at a full 100% one way and a full 100% the other way. So you change that to that. When it says REO, leave that, push the enter button again. When it says PV, you want to change that so it says PV1. Now to change them, you just turn this. So you change that to where it says PV1, hold your enter button down again, and then that's input that into the radio. Alright, and after that, go back into the reverse again, hold the button down. Right, now where it says number 1 here, we want to change that so it says a D, which is that one. As you can see, there's a D flashing there. So you go on to that, and where it says DRS, you want to change that to dig as well. So keep scrolling through once again, blah blah. Well, by the way, incidentally, you can do 4-wheel steer on this radio as well. Alright, where are we? So yeah, change that to dig, push the button down. Alright, and then change that. Alright, you want to change this so it says BRS. So turn that button so it goes to BRS. Alright, and then hold that down again. Alright, or should I say push it, and then it'll go to this. Now, oh sorry. This is setting how much, how many increments that every time you push that button for your proportional drive, you can get it so it goes up in 1%, 2%, 3%, 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50% on each press. Right, so you push it one way and it'll take 50% of the drive off one, or it'll take 10% or 5%, whatever you want. So this is what you're doing here now. I've got mine set at 10. So you turn that to 10. Right, and you push down on that. Right, then you go REO, then ORO, keep pushing the enter button. Right, once it's gone back to where it says D-dig, hold your enter button down, that's then input into the radio. Go back into your reverse again. Right, and then you want to change it so where it says 1, 2, 3 and then D, change that to where it says C. Right, once it says C, push your enter button, change this to you've got to make sure you always hit the end button so it takes you out of that. But now that it took you out of that anyway, right, we've got 10% drive, 20% drive, 30% drive, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, that's going forward, and then 100. So each time I push this in, it's going down or up, depending on which way. Now that's gone back to centre, but if I keep pressing, it'll then do minus 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, blah 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 blah. Right, also you mix to 0. Right, if, as you can see then, it was on what, 80%, minus 80%. If I push that button in there, watch, 0 straight away. Right, so then that'll automatically take off your proportional drive. Now you've also got your dig set up on this one now, so you push backwards, you're minus 100%, push forwards, you've got 100%, release it, goes back to 0. Right, that's basically how you do it. If you're struggling to do it, I will stick my email in the description box, and then I'll send you a copy of the Word document I've got here from a friend on how to set it up, and then you can do it from there. But this video should give you a bit of an idea anyway, and all the settings that I've input into my controller will also go into yours. But don't forget as well, you've got to get the Overkill RC hack kit, and you've got to install that and hack your radio first, otherwise you can't do it. Incidentally as well, that's what I think on, I'll go back to my SCX channel. Right, if you're running a winch, you can also use part of what I've just shown you how to do on how to run a winch as well. Basically, to run the winch, you can set it up so you use that as your winch button. So with some winches, they come with a board, and the board can be plugged into your receiver. Once that's been plugged into your receiver, you can then operate it from your controller. So it works exactly the same way as the dig function does. But I've got it set up on channel 3, so my winch is in channel 3 in my receiver, and I pull backwards and it'll winch out, and push forwards and it'll winch back in. As soon as I release it, the winch stops. So if you need to know how to do that, just comment below, let me know, and I'll fire you up a video on how to do that as well then. Okay, right, well, hope you all enjoyed that. I'm sorry it was a little bit long-winded, but a lot of people have been asking on how to do it.